And the stop there, like I think because you mentioned with the longer term system, it's just like an ATR multiple. That's how you're exiting for your trailing
Yeah, but
stop?
I'm using it on weekly charts, so I'm using a weekly ATR,
Yep.
so it's a much wider ATR.
Cool.
Excellent. And yeah, and I may tighten it up if certain things occur, but this is one that was nice, slow and steady, and there's no reason for me to do anything different with it.
Yep.
And then over the page I've got another long-term trade, and I'm not telling you which trade this is because it's open and I don't want to be giving any advice here, but this is one that I've entered into. And it's good to show you a trade that I actually have open so that you can see, look, this is one I've got running, this is why I've exited into it, and this is where it currently is at. So this is a weekly system trade because I don't have much in the way of long trades open with the daily system at the moment because everything's turned around and we've had a collapse in the market, and we'll talk more about that in the next presentation. But I basically entered into this share. You can see the blue arrows as they start to come up on my chart, and so it started to come up for quite a bit, and it had a very strong move, and then it fell away, and I had it on my watch list, and I'd been keeping my eye on it because I thought the move was probably a little bit strong and maybe there's a possibility to get back on a retracement. You could probably say there was a bit of, it had broken through a high point, and when it fell back and it had the nice white candle and started to move higher, I entered in with the long-term system, and I'm pretty much still in it at the moment. So as the share continues to move higher, my stop loss, which you can see underneath the line, moves higher. So I'm in a profitable position with where the stop loss is sitting on this trade. And while the share keeps on moving upwards and my stop isn't hit, I will stay with it. Once it falls back and hits that stop, I'll be out of the trade. So that's pretty much what's happening with that trade at this present time. Okay, so moving on, I want to show you a losing trade because, as I said, not every trade's going to be a winner. And things, basically shares will hit my stops before they get into a profitable position. And this trade looked like it was going to be fantastic. They all look like they're going to be fantastic. That's why I enter them. Doesn't mean they will end that way. But my whole goal is I've decided how many shares I can buy based on my risk of my capital. I know going in how much I can lose on the trade. If the trade fails, I exit. If it moves higher, my stop loss moves higher. So I find a lot of the time I'll enter a trade and my stop will move up a little bit because the share may move higher. I probably only take a few trades a year where I take my full risk amount because anything that moves my way a little bit, my stop has moved up. So this is a good example of a share that was in a triangular pattern. It had broken out. My daily system bought it up. It had a nice white candle with a gap move and strong volume, so I entered. It moved up a little after my entry, and then it collapsed. And when it collapsed and broke below $5, because my stop was sitting just under $5, my stop was hit. I was taken out of the trade. So I held the trade for a total of 15 days, made a negative 5.5% return, negative 55% on the total trade size, which I had to outlay 10% capital. So it just goes to show you that if a share doesn't go my way and my stop's hit, I just get out no matter whether it was profitable or not profitable. But my whole goal is to keep those losses small. And you'll find that my losing trades always have a lot less hold time. So this was 15-day hold time where my winning trades were a lot longer. So that's a good example to show you how a losing trade would look for me as well. Because, you know, I can just go through and show you some great trades, but 50% of my trades will be losing trades, and this is how I handle a losing trade. As long as my wins are a lot bigger than my losing trades, I will make money in the market.